Hello and welcome to this IFS UK and Ireland User Group event. Thank you very much to Chris Durrans and Matt O'Neill from Cooper Software for preparing and presenting this event for us. They're excited to tell us about the latest version of their Making Tax Digital solution and the latest enhancements to the MTD portal. If you have any questions, please ask them using the Q&A facility and I will ask them at the end. And I'm going to hand you over now to Matt for a quick introduction.
Good afternoon, I'm Matt. I'm the development team lead at Cooper Software. I've been here for about 2 years and it's within my team that we're responsible for creating, maintaining these applications, our MTD solution being one of them. We also write a warehouse scanning tool. We have bespoke web applications and mobile apps and a number of EDI interfaces as well for various solutions. So that's what my team does. I'll hand you over to Chris, who's going to be going through the rest of the presentation, and I'll be available at the end for any questions.
Thanks, Matt.
That's great. Thank you, Matt. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris. I'm an IFS finance consultant at Cooper Software and a solution architect here as well. My background is that I'm a qualified accountant. I've been using IFS for about 10 years. The first part of that was in a company that's using IFS, and then been at Cooper Software about 4 years or so. So today, the plan for today was to go through, as we've done there, some introductions, a little bit about what MTD, Making Tax Digital, is. Obviously, some of you will be fully aware of it, but for anyone that isn't, just a brief introduction to Making Tax Digital. A little talk through what updates we've been making to the Cooper Software portal, and then there'll be time, as Amanda says at the end, for some Q&A as well. So Making Tax Digital is a HMRC initiative that they've been rolling out for a number of years now. It covers a number of tax areas, so I believe there's something in corporation tax as well, but certainly pieces in PAYE, so income tax, and what we're focusing on here, which is for VAT. So prior to HMRC's initiative here, anyone would do their VAT returns in whatever system they were using. We'd obviously hope that that's IFS. That they would then be able to output that to Excel, to a bit of paper, anything they want to, and then would go and log on to HMRC's website and tap in any figures that they wanted into HMRC's website, having potentially added £1 million here, taken £1 million off there, and done whatever they wanted to it. Now, HMRC obviously, understandably, weren't too happy about that and wanted to cut out this option for any manual manipulation in the middle. So that moved to, as you can see, a big arrow around the bottom there, wanting direct communication in from whatever your reporting system was directly into HMRC. Be that either direct communication from, say, IFS into HMRC, or as long as you can go along that arrow without the opportunity for anyone to manipulate figures, or as HMRC would say, anyone to potentially make mistakes along that road, they wanted that to happen automatically. So at the time, IFS decided not to build that bridge directly from IFS into HMRC, at which point Cooper Software stepped in to look to try and fill that gap. So as you can see in the middle there, we have developed a Cooper Software MTD portal that sits in the middle of IFS and HMRC. And you can see with the various padlocks through there that there is no way at all for anyone to manipulate values that come out of IFS through the Cooper Software portal into HMRC, meaning it is fully compliant with all of HMRC's requirements and recommendations. So that's been in place for a number of years, and since 2019 we've had, I think it's just recently ticked over 2,000 VAT submissions going through the portal, and that's across hundreds of different customers, hundreds of different VAT registration numbers. So as we say, that's been in place for a number of years now, and we've recently been looking to make some improvements, make some changes to the functionality that's on offer there. So just to call out a couple of bits, there's no changes within IFS required for these updates we've got. So there's no requirement for anything new to be installed in IFS to allow this communication, and there's no change in what your IFS process will be as a result of these updates we're talking through today. Those updates are within the portal itself and are around the look and feel of the portal, a bit around some error handling, a piece around penalties as well, and a little bit of technical updates to it as well. And what I'll do now is actually jump across into the portal and we can have a look in there and see what those changes look like. So this is the logon page for the Coupa Software Making Tax Digital portal. Anyone that uses it already will be fairly familiar with the fact that you've got your username and password there. We have just made some look and feel changes around the outside though. So rather than just a plain white background, there is now a bit of a background there, and you can still toggle back and forth between light mode and dark mode. If I then log into here, we can see we still have these boxes in the middle there. Now on this logon, I've just got the one VAT registration number, but you can obviously have multiple VAT registration numbers, at which point you'd have multiple boxes around here. Another of the changes we've made is to navigate around. These navigation options here used to be sat way up over here somewhere, not particularly useful, but they're now down the left hand side here, and we can click on any of those as and when we need them, or move the mouse away and they hide themselves away. Coming into this dummy VAT number that we've set up here for the purposes of this demo, if I click into this obligations bit there, we can see one of the other changes that we've made. Now, when we're communicating with HMRC obviously know whether you report monthly or quarterly, and they know the expected period dates. So be it from the 1st of January till the 31st of January, or whatever that full quarter is expected to be. We have had instances in the past that customers have prepared a VAT return in IFS, which covers a different date range than what it is that HMRC are expecting. And that obviously then causes problems, as we can't submit that through to HMRC because the dates don't tie up. What happens here now, though, is that if that does happen, we get this little message saying invalid period dates, and we can click on the little drop down there to see what it is that's come through from IFS. So you can see in this instance, it looks like it's a quarterly return, but hasn't quite gone to the end of that quarter. So if that is to happen, then it's a case we can press the archive button, that will hide that away, and we can then regenerate the file from IFS. So we need to go back into IFS, correct that period range, and we can then communicate new across to the portal. I'll do that here, so I'll jump into, this is one of our Coupa Software IFS Cloud environments, and in IFS Cloud it's a very similar screen to what you're maybe used to in Apps 9, Apps 10, etc., which is that it's from this automatic tax proposal screen. Now, usually the communication would be at the point that you do the print definitive report step, but for the purposes of this test, we've just changed that so that it's at the point that we press acknowledge here. So if I come there, press acknowledge, that is what will then have triggered the communication across to the Coupa Software NTD portal. If I jump back in here and just come back to the home page there, we should see we have now got that little I there, pending VAT return. And now that the periods are correct, we haven't received that error message this time. We can come in here as usual, see the values that were on the VAT return in IFS, and then we can continue and do the submit return as we would in the past. One of the other new features we've put in here is that HMRC does now communicate various penalty information back to us as well. So there is a new little tab here called penalties, and you can see in there that, for example, if you've put any submissions in late and have got penalties for that, or have made any late payments, for example, all that information will be displayed in here. The aim for this is really to be kind of your one-stop shop to show you any information that you need to know about your VAT returns, be it that you're doing the submission or coming in to see any penalties or anything else like that. So I think that is pretty much everything that I was going to go through today. As I say, there have been some technical behind the scenes updates as well. I won't dwell on those too much, but there are a couple of enhancements. For example, if you decide to come in and change your password, then there's now some extra security requirements in there, but that won't at all force you to change passwords. It's just if you decide to make any changes to that will kick in. Other than that, I think that's us covered through the majority of what the changes are. I don't know whether there are any questions at all.
Okay, thank you. So we do have one question, and obviously I'm hoping that everyone else is busily typing away their questions. But first question I've got here is, does it support all versions of IFS?
Yes, it works well with any versions of IFS that there are. Anything back from 7.5, 8 through 9, 10 and through into cloud, as we can see here. Any version of IFS that you're on can communicate perfectly through the portal to do your VAT submissions.
Okay, lovely. Just have a quick check, see if we've got anything else come through. Nothing that I can see at the moment. We'll give them a couple of seconds in case they're all typing away.
Okay, one thing I was just going to mention just while they are, is that these changes that we've put here aren't going to take effect immediately, but we will be rolling them out over the coming weeks or so. So if you keep an eye on emails from us, obviously have a look on any social media platforms and things like that. We'll be communicating out in every way possible when those changes are looking to come out, but that should be in the coming weeks at the latest. Okay,
lovely, thank you. So I still haven't got any questions showing at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I will do a quick wrap up and then I'll check for questions just before we go. Okay, so many thanks to Chris and to Matt and to our partners, Cooper Software. We very much appreciate your continued and enthusiastic support of the user group. Thank you to all our members who attended today. I hope you found it to be useful and informative, and that we will see you again at another user group event very soon. Don't forget to book our conference in June, Epiphany. We're busy getting ready for it and we'll publish our agenda for very soon. Just a note, the early bird offer will end on the 1st of April. So let's have another quick check. Okay, no, looks like you answered everything in your presentation. Okay. So a short one for today, but thank you so much. We really appreciate what you've done for us today. And thanks, Matt, you got off scot-free. And thanks, Chris, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.